Friend, I have to tell you something I wish someone had told me when I turned 65. I used to wake up in the morning groaning, my joints complaining like old wooden doors, and honestly, I thought that was just how it was going to be from then on. I thought mornings were my mortal enemy, coffee my only ally, and movement a cruel joke. But then, one day, I realized that the mornings after 65 could be golden. Actually, they could add 30 more years to your life if you approached them right. I know it sounds unbelievable, but I've been living it, and I swear it works. When I first started, I was stiff and cranky. I rolled out of bed reluctantly, grabbed coffee like it was a life raft, and stared blankly at the ceiling for 10 minutes while plotting revenge on gravity. But I noticed something. Every day felt heavier, slower, and somehow sadder. That's when I decided I needed a morning ritual, a proper start to my day. Friend, this wasn't some fancy yoga or a boot camp. It was simple, easy, and surprisingly powerful. The first thing I do now is gratitude. Before I even put my feet on the floor, I think of 3 things I'm thankful for. Some days it's silly. My bed didn't collapse on me. My teeth still work. Harold's dog didn't bark at 5 a.m. Other days it's more meaningful. My family, my health, a roof over my head. I used to roll my eyes at this, thinking it was nonsense, but now I swear by it. Starting the day with a grateful heart sets my mind right. It calms me, sharpens me, and makes me less grumpy at the world. Then I drink water, lots of it. I used to reach for coffee first, and then wonder why I felt like a dried prune an hour later. A big glass of water wakes up my organs, flushes out toxins, and keeps my skin looking less like an old leather boot. Sometimes I add a slice of lemon. Sometimes I just chug it down like a champ. Either way, I notice a difference. Hydration is underrated, friend. I promise you, it changes everything. After that, I move. Now, don't roll your eyes. I'm not talking about running marathons or joining a gym with people half my age. I do simple stretches, a little yoga, sometimes Tai Chi in my living room while humming old tunes from my youth. Just 15 minutes, sometimes 20 if I'm feeling ambitious. It keeps my joints from creaking like rusty hinges, improves circulation, and makes me feel alive. I even reach things on the top shelf sometimes without using a stool. It feels like winning a small battle every morning. Breakfast is next, and I've learned this the hard way. Start with something nourishing, oats, fruits, or a boiled egg. Then I allow myself coffee. I used to drink coffee first, and it made me jittery and anxious. Breakfast first, coffee second. This tiny adjustment makes mornings smoother and energy more consistent. Friend, I cannot emphasize enough how these small tweaks have transformed my mornings. Sunlight is crucial too. I sit by a window or step outside for 10 minutes. Vitamin D boosts my mood, strengthens bones, and helps my immune system. Sometimes I wave at Harold while soaking up the sun. He thinks I'm eccentric. I think I'm wise. Those 10 minutes of natural light are like a shot of life straight to the soul. I also engage my mind early. I read a few pages of a book, solve a small puzzle, or write a thought in my journal. Mental stimulation keeps memory sharp, improves focus, and makes the day feel purposeful. I sometimes read old letters I wrote to myself when I was younger. Some are hilarious, some cringeworthy, all reminders that life is long, unpredictable, and full of surprises. I can't skip laughter either. Some mornings I watch a short funny clip, remember a joke, or imagine Harold slipping on his garden hose, metaphorically, of course. Laughing first thing in the morning releases tension, wakes up my brain, and sets a playful tone for the day. Even at 80, I find that laughter is medicine that no doctor can prescribe, but everyone should take daily. Friend, I have to tell you about meditation. Just 10 minutes of sitting quietly, focusing on my breath. It calms me, lowers stress, and makes me less reactive to life's irritations. Sometimes my mind wanders to taxes or Harold's antics, but I gently bring it back to breathing. At first I thought it was silly, but now I can't imagine starting my day without it. Around this time, I also like to plan my day. Nothing rigid, just a few priorities. I write them down. Even at 80, I notice that clarity in the morning keeps me productive and reduces that panicky feeling of forgetting something important. Now, I have to admit, I sometimes skip a step. I'm human, friend. One morning I skipped hydration and movement and ended up spilling coffee all over my shirt and wearing mismatched socks. I laughed at myself, but I also realized that my routine is non-negotiable. It's essential. It's my armor against the chaos of aging. I also include some light physical activity after breakfast. Sometimes a short walk in the yard, sometimes light stretching again. It wakes up the body fully, keeps muscles flexible, and strengthens the heart. Even at 80, I can still feel my heart pumping with vigor when I do these small exercises. My doctor calls it exceptional for my age, but I call it common sense. I make sure to stay connected with family and friends in the morning, even briefly. A phone call, a quick message, or just sharing a funny memory. Social interaction early in the day boosts my mood and gives me energy for the rest of the day. Loneliness is sneaky. Starting the morning with connection keeps it at bay. Sometimes I add music, oldies, jazz, anything that lifts my spirits. I dance if I feel like it, even if it's just a little shuffle in the kitchen. It makes me feel alive and reminds me that age is just a number. At 80, I can still enjoy rhythm, movement, and fun without caring who sees me. Friend, let me tell you something about sleep. The quality of sleep directly affects mornings. I try to maintain a consistent bedtime and wake-up time. I avoid screens late at night, keep the bedroom cool, and sometimes read before bed. Waking up naturally or at a consistent time makes mornings far easier and more productive. Around the middle of my morning ritual, I often remind myself to smile. Even when life is messy, my knees ache, or Harold's garden floods, smiling releases endorphins. It's simple, it's free, and it makes me feel younger than I am. Try it, friend. It's remarkable. Now here's where I encourage you to engage with me. If you're watching this, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know how your mornings are going, what rituals you've tried, or if you're thinking of starting one. Sharing experiences keeps us accountable and connected, and that's exactly what I love about mornings after 65. I also make sure to keep my mind nourished. Reading, writing, or listening to something educational early in the day keeps my brain active. I challenge myself with trivia, learn a new word, or reflect on life's lessons. Mental stimulation in the morning primes me for focus, clarity, and emotional balance. Friend, there's something magical about consistency. Doing the same few steps every morning, gratitude, hydration, movement, breakfast, sunlight, engaging my mind, laughter, and connection transform life. At 80, I notice it more than ever. I wake up energized, my mind sharp, my mood stable, and my heart ready for the day. I can't overstate how important this routine has been. Some days I tweak it, add something new, or skip a step, but the foundation remains. It's my ritual, my declaration that life after 65 isn't decline. It's another chapter, full of potential, laughter, and maybe even 30 more years of joy. And that's why even at 80, I can tell you with confidence, a purposeful morning sets the tone for decades ahead. It's not just about longevity, it's about living well, staying vibrant, and enjoying every single sunrise that greets us. And I often sit quietly for a few moments, just absorbing the calm. I like to think of it as setting an intention for the day. At 80, I realized that how I start the morning often predicts how the rest of the day unfolds. If I begin with chaos or grumbling, the day drags and everything feels heavier. But if I begin with care, gratitude, and purpose, the hours seem lighter, brighter, and somehow more joyful. Sometimes, while sipping my tea, I reflect on life's little victories. Like the other day, I managed to organize my old photographs without tripping over a chair or spilling coffee on them. It may sound trivial, but victories like that matter. They remind me that even small accomplishments at our age are worth celebrating. I chuckle to myself because at 80, I've learned that life is less about big achievements and more about these tiny wins. I also make it a point to plan for movement beyond the basic morning stretches. I might take a short stroll around the yard, tend to the plants, or do a few balance exercises. These are not just for fitness. They keep me aware of my body, connected to it, and remind me that I can still move, still bend, still engage with the world. Friend, I never thought I'd be grateful for standing up without groaning, but here I am, and I treasure it. Nutrition remains central to my mornings. I enjoy my breakfast mindfully, tasting every bite, chewing slowly, and appreciating the energy it gives me. I've noticed that mindful eating in the morning sets a tone for healthier choices throughout the day. I rarely find myself snacking unnecessarily or reaching for sugar. My body feels supported, my mind alert, and my mood more stable. Engaging socially in the morning has also become a staple. I send a quick message to my children, joke with a friend over the phone, or sometimes even chat with Harold, though he mostly complains about his lawn. These interactions, however brief, remind me that connection is vital. Loneliness creeps up quickly if left unchecked, and mornings are the perfect time to fortify your social bonds. I've added reading as a ritual too. Even 10 or 15 minutes of absorbing a story, learning a fact, or reflecting on philosophical musings sparks my mind. At 80, I know that keeping my brain active is as important as keeping my body active. I sometimes read aloud, just for the fun of hearing my own voice. Memory and speech get a nice little workout that way. And let me tell you, friend, laughter cannot be underestimated. I spend a few minutes in the morning remembering something funny from my past, like that time I tried to impress a dance partner and ended up on the floor instead, or watching a silly video online. I laugh heartily, not politely. Laughter is a tonic. It releases endorphins, lowers stress, and makes me feel light on my feet. Metaphorically, of course, since my actual feet aren't always that light at 80. Sometimes I meditate for a bit, focusing on breath and presence. Even if my mind wanders, I gently bring it back. I've found that starting the day grounded in the present helps me navigate challenges later with calmness. Anxiety and worry lose their grip when I center myself first thing in the morning. I also like to add a creative component whenever possible, writing a line or two in my journal, sketching something, or even planning a small project keeps my brain engaged and sparks joy. Creativity isn't just for the young, it's a lifeline for the mind, keeping me alert, flexible, and emotionally balanced. At this point, I often review my goals for the day, both practical and personal. Nothing rigid, just a roadmap for how I want my day to go. This planning, done calmly and deliberately, ensures that I feel in control rather than rushed or overwhelmed. I've learned that a thoughtful morning prevents frustration and fatigue later. Friend, hydration doesn't stop after the first glass. I sip water throughout my morning, sometimes adding herbal tea or a touch of lemon. It keeps me feeling energized and prevents that sluggishness that sneaks up when we least expect it. I can't emphasize enough how something so simple has such profound effects over decades. I've also embraced music as a part of my morning. Sometimes soft jazz, sometimes old classics that remind me of my youth. I might even tap my fingers to a rhythm or hum along. It lifts my spirits, reminds me of good times, and keeps my mind in a joyful, alert state. Music, laughter, movement, they all work together like a symphony for my well-being. I keep a little ritual of reflection too. Even 5 minutes of thinking about what went well yesterday, what I appreciate today, or what I hope for the future helps align my thoughts positively. At 80, I've found that reflection fosters gratitude, resilience, and a sense of purpose. Friend, I can't overstate the importance of consistency. Some mornings I feel lazy, tempted to skip steps or linger in bed longer than I should. But I remind myself, the ritual isn't about perfection. It's about habit, about telling my body and mind that I value myself and my life. Even imperfectly done, it works. Sometimes I add light reading about health, nutrition, or aging. I enjoy learning new strategies, understanding my body better, and discovering new ways to thrive. Knowledge keeps me empowered. At 80, I know that staying informed is as important as staying active. I also make it a point to smile in the morning, even if nothing immediately makes me happy. It's surprising how much a simple smile shifts my mood and outlook. I notice it in the mirror, and I notice it in my interactions. Friend, never underestimate the power of a smile. It's free, it's infectious, and it's transformative. Now, sometimes I incorporate gentle stretching while listening to the news or a podcast. It keeps my mind alert while my body moves. I combine mental and physical stimulation seamlessly, and by the time I'm done, I feel prepared for anything. Breakfast is often a mindful experience. I taste each bite, appreciate the flavors, and remind myself that nourishment is a gift. Over decades, I've noticed that mindful eating prevents overindulgence, stabilizes energy, and improves digestion. It's a small act with profound results. I make sure to check in with loved ones quickly, even with a brief message. Maintaining social bonds early in the day reinforces emotional health, keeps loneliness away, and reminds me that I am loved and connected. It's a ritual that nurtures both heart and mind. Sometimes I take a few minutes to write down intentions or affirmations for the day. Simple statements like, "I will stay present," or "I will enjoy today," help me focus and align with my values. At 80, I've found that a positive mindset in the morning carries me through challenges and uncertainties. Friend, I've also learned the importance of preparing the environment for the day. I tidy up a little, organize items, and create a space that feels calm and inviting. A clutter-free environment reduces stress, fosters clarity, and helps me feel in control. By now, I'm often smiling, sipping tea, reflecting, and feeling grounded. The morning, once dreaded, has become a sacred time, a gift I give myself. Even if the day ahead is busy or challenging, I start from a place of balance, gratitude, and energy. And you know what's funny? Even at 80, I still find new ways to enjoy mornings. A new recipe, a new stretch, a new song to hum. Life after 65 isn't about slowing down. It's about discovering richness, depth, and joy every day. Friend, if you've read this far, remember to embrace your mornings. Engage, nourish, move, laugh, reflect, and connect. The days you invest in your morning routine compound, creating decades of healthier, happier, and more vibrant life. I speak from experience. This isn't theory. This is 80 years of living, learning, and refining. I sometimes sit at my window, watching the sunrise, sipping my tea, and thinking about life. I laugh at the memories, smile at the present, and look forward to the future. These mornings give me clarity, energy, and joy, and they could do the same for you. Friend, start small if you must. Gratitude, hydration, a little movement,